ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome again to the podcast of Action Require Media. Here we are dedicated to discussing hard truth and finding remedies for our problems. On this platform, we will stay engaged on all happenings in Mama Liberia, not limited to politics, religion, development, economy, security, crimes, war on illegal drugs, employment, youth, growth, and food production. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be discussing few topics. Now, again, you are listening to Action Require Media. Here we educate, entertain, and empower. Ladies and gentlemen, please like and share our show as we will um, be soliciting your views and your opinions on how well we can grow this platform. Again, ladies and gentlemen, please like and share. You are watching Action Require Media. Today, our topics for discussion are Liberia MCC scorecard, fiscal year 2026 versus Ghana fiscal year 2026 scorecards as well. Abuse of power across the government, teenage sexual abuse, and the last topic, what are needed to boost Liberia's economy. Ladies and gentlemen, to discuss with me here, I'm a panelist. Prior to going into introduction, we will ask Sergeant Leo Montgomery to give us an opening prayer. Sergeant Montgomery.
Well, let me say good evening, good morning, good afternoon to our listening audience via social media. Happy Sunday. Let's pray. Our Father and our God, we thank you for such a beautiful day. We thank you for the gift of life. Father, as we've come together, oh God, to discuss trending issues in our country, help us to be a part of the solution. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. And at this time, I will turn over to
Amen.
Dr. Wallow to introduce himself.
Thank you, CEO. You kind of low from my end here, but
Really? Okay.
good evening, everybody. It's again a pleasure to be here. Happy Sunday. I'm looking forward to the conversation. Uh, if you are following, please share our show and send us your comment, and we will be more than happy to respond to you. Uh, Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Thank you. And at this time, I will turn over to Edwin Saipor Jr.
Thank you so much. My name is Edwin Saiport Jr. I'm a writer. I'm looking forward to discussing issues that are very important to our country, especially with the scorecard that we have coming up today. I'm looking to discuss with the panelists with that different insight towards this. Thank you.
Thank you. And at this time, I will turn over to Sergeant Leo Montgomery.
Yeah, again, the name is Leo, one of the co-founders of this podcast. Please share and like our show. We are also on YouTube. The name is Action Required Media. Please share and like our show. And we'll also look forward to your participation via your comments and whatnot. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard the introduction from my panelists. I am your host, Brother Joseph Brown. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be discussing the following. Now, the first topic for discussion, we're going to go to MCC scorecards of Liberia fiscal year 2026. Um, and I'm just going to switch the screen and we're going to discuss it side by side with Ghana scorecards as well. There are some key points here to be made, and we'll solicit people views. If you want to send your comment through text, that's fine. We will have time to read it when we can't, and then we will comment as we go forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, now let's switch to the screen here. I want us to get the understanding on how MCC um, do their selections. So the selection process, I'm not going to go through the four stages, but I'm just going to read the first uh, paragraph. It says the MCC Board of Directors selects country as eligible for MCC assistance that demonstrate our commitment to just and democratic governance, investing in people and the economic freedom using the following four step process. That's what I'm going to stop for now, and then we're going to switch to the scorecards. All right. I wish Sam was here so we can have the discussion. If you look at Liberia scorecards, I think we scored 12 for the year, for the fiscal year. And the points we made was on inflation. We passed inflation, international market assets, we did property and land rights, regulatory quality, women in the economy, we did market competitiveness, health expenditures, personal freedom, government accountability, control of corruptions, chronic disease, and freedom of information. So these are the 12 points Liberia scored on the MCC grade level. Now, gentlemen, I want you guys, I know, to look at this card and see where we we stand to be corrected. Do you guys see any problem with this card?
So can you bring us back?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, CEO. Can you see me?
Yes.
You, you guys are blurry on my screen.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
three.
The screen is blurry, CEO.
I don't know. It's not coming from me though.
No, it has to.
But
It
you
has,
just say you're blurry. Everybody blurry.
Oh,
yeah,
for
the
real?
entire system. Yeah,
Oh boy.
the entire system is the discoloration. Something going on.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think something is going on.
Sorry, guys. Let me see something real quick. If I switch back to you individually, are you good?
It's
There you
still the
go.
same.
Dr. Water is clear now, but a little bit of discoloration, but he's like
Yeah,
almost half
yeah,
clear.
it's not good. It's
All
not.
right. Let's see.
Okay, Pastor Chroma is good.
Leo is fine.
Okay, you good, CEO.
Okay. Let me go back here.
Okay, okay. I think we okay now.
We good now?
All right. So let me kick this off. Again, thank you. I think this should be a very beautiful and important topic to discuss. First, let me say for those that have not been following conversation around the MCC. So the MCC stands for Millennium Challenge Corporation. Okay, so that's what the MCC stands for. And the MCC access policy performance of low-income countries to determine their eligibility for development grants by measuring uh, performance across 20 indicators. And so what the graph that the CEO put out is, indicates those 20 indicators. And to just speak of the colors, for our viewers that might not be familiar with this. So the colors, green means that the country meets, or a country meets the standard that was
Yeah.
required.
Yeah,
When you meet the standard for that was required means that you pass in that indicator. Okay, so if that indicator is green, it means that you pass. Yellow means that you were close to the standard that was set, but you did not meet that standard. So it does not it is not considered as you passing in that indicator. So the yellow or the orange, that's what it indicates that that country did not meet the standard for that indicator. And if an indicator is red, it means that there was a significant failure, or there were massive weaknesses that needs to be improved. Okay, so that is that. So those were the cutters. All right. So when you look at the Liberia MCC card, Okay, so inflation, we pass inflation because inflation is green. Trade policy, trade policy is orange or yellow. So that means that we did not meet the standard for trade policy. Access to credit, we did not need that. So that means that we did not pass that. And I think all Liberians will agree with this one because banks are not giving out credits to common, to ordinary Liberians. Okay, banks give credits or bank give loans or credits to lawmakers, ministers, and people that are in a hierarchy of government. And the reason is simple because the bank knows that these people have a regular source of income that when they give out credit or they give out loans, they will be able to get their money back from these people, right? So ordinary Liberians, if you don't carry a collateral, you cannot access credit. So I think a majority of Liberians will agree that we should fail in this one. Okay. Uh, but CEO, what and so forth, and that's what the scorecard indicates. But one of the things that really caught my attention, and I think my brother Edwin and I have been singing a song on this platform. Okay, shouting it, singing it in songs is the indicator have to do with employment opportunities. We feel that one,
Yep.
right? Now, this is a country, a post-war country. We are building, every sector of our society. That includes our economy. But one of the things that we have been struggling with, CEO, for the past times is to build an economy that will provide jobs. Right now in our country, the only jobs that are available is government jobs. But how many people can government employ? So because the government try to exalt a lot of people uh, in with the intent of providing jobs. So you see the indicator that have to do with government effectiveness. We fear that one as well because when government is too big, the government is not effective, and citizens access government services. So when the MCC says that the government is not effective, that means that the government policies are not effective and the government services are not equally distributed to the citizens. People are not
Okay.
accessing the services of the government. So we feel that one as well. But one of the things that should raise the alarm here, that should caution every Liberian, is the fact that we feel government
Trade
effectiveness and employment opportunity,
Yeah.
right? I don't even want to mention
It's
rule of
alarming.
law, right? I don't even want to mention rule of law. All of the things that will make our economy stable, protected, better, those are the areas that we have failed, right?
Okay.
And we are talking about 2025, right? So this should be alarming, and I think we should think about a way to
Thank you.
address these indicators
Thank you.
for us to improve that. But issue alarm every Liberian that we have failed in this, and this is, I mean, if you ask me some of the areas that we passed, I think we should have failed, right? But
Yeah, but the
I'm
way
not part. I'm not part of the I'm not part of the governing council or whatsoever. People that make the decision,
we we
right?
agree.
But I'm just responding. I will talk more on this, but I just wanted to indicate areas that we have failed. It should be alarming to every Liberian.
Thank you.
uh,
And then
thank
Montgomery, I would take
Yeah,
it last because I know you might want to say some stuff
go ahead.
pertaining to
Go
this
ahead.
part. Let me get Edwin on first, and then you will have your time. Okay,
That's fine.
but Edwin, what's your overall view
Yeah,
on this card?
yeah, thank you guys. Even though the topics are still a little bit late, but I took a time to review the graphs. I think most of the places that we got passing grades that we fail, I think there's only one thing over there that we pass is the immunization. We do, we do get immunization. That's for a fact. Because if your economy person congruent with the economy, you cannot tell me that inflation is a passing rate when your fiscal policy is not even complying. Like there's no economic activity for you to pass somebody on the inflation rate. So I don't know where they're getting that number from. It doesn't even make sense. Why would you pass somebody when they don't have any physical activity? They don't have any economic activity. Now you're talking about women in the economy. Are you talking about the market with me? I'm serious. I'm not even like trade policy. Like the whole MCC scorecard, even as a whole, the MCC scorecard, it's just like in America here, right? You gotta live in a poor area for you to be eligible to receive welfare. That's what the MCC scorecard is geared towards to make you eligible to borrow from the IMF. That's what the MCC scorecard is for. So all the countries that are doing good, they don't look at these things. If you have good economic activities in your country, you're not going to be looking up to an MCC scorecard. So these are the things that pisses somebody like me off. To come up with numbers like that and make it look like it's so normal. Like last show when Sam was on the phone talking about Liberia is a law in other countries, we all know where our naked eye is not a law in other countries. Now you have some little bit of data to back it up, but I don't need data. I can see the way the rule of law, the professionals interact with regular people in the country. You don't need data for that. So, me personally, I think most of those are. I think they only got one green light. I think it's the immunization. That's what I think. Just looking at everything, the economic activities, health expenditure. Are you kidding me? Young girls are in the line to Sony Wayne Clinic. What the current going off on them? They're there all day just to receive regular aid. You got passing green health expenditure. This is a joke, to tell you the truth. Like again, this is more political and trying to be nice to Liberia than to if you take a third party and go in to take the actual numbers, you're not gonna like it. It's gonna be negative red. That's a fact.
All right. Thank you, brother Edwin. And now I'll go on to Sergeant Montgomery.
Yeah.
Montgomery.
Again, let me say good evening, good afternoon, good morning to our listening audience. And thank you, Dr. Waller, for providing that education on this or
Yep.
MCC scorecard. Look, I'm with Edwin here. I don't see why we will pass on things that's not even affecting the people. Look at inflation rate. So my question would be, what's the gradation? What are they? What is scheme? What are they looking at? How are these things being graded? Again, I'm not an economist to look at it, but when I look at inflation, when you say we pass inflation on such of when you look at the graph and the number grading, are we saying inflation in Liberia is much better now? Is that what it's indicating?
Yep.
I mean, somebody can help me
Yep.
in the chat room. Somebody can help me with inflation, Liberia right now. You see, this got to be a joke. But then again, I don't know how the gradation is going. What the graph, what it entails, what are they looking at? Obviously, we will have to feel in trade and policy. What are trade and policy going in Liberia? Huh? But I won't dwell on that so much. My problem here is with this access to credit. You know, in other countries, I mean, not to compare, but other countries where they look at your credit versus what you're trying to credit, right? Or whatever, be it a loan you're trying to get. But whereas such countries as Liberia, when you look at credit, it goes to collateral. What you have,
Yep.
now this is no knock on our people. There's no knock, Brother Joe and my fellow panelists here. If you are not a wealthy person in Liberia, obviously you will not be able to get credit, even as a poor businessman. Because one, you don't even have a valuable to say I can put down as collateral. So you obviously don't have a credit line. So we will fill in that. And rich people in Liberia will not go take loans. They have money, they keep money under the bed, they keep money at home. So they spend raw cash, and even if the money is in the bank, they don't even need credit. You understand? So obviously, I don't see us passing this in the next maybe I don't know how many years to come. One, people are very very poor, beyond poverty line. So there's no tangible to hold to say, oh, this is what I can use as collateral when I go to the bank to get access to credit and all that kind of stuff, right? And like we've all alluded to, I mean, international trade market, I see how we can pass on international trade access, market access. How? I need somebody who's an economist. Again, I'm not going to pretend to be one here. How do we pass? I know 93%. Is it the Japanese goods that's so much in Liberia? I mean, somebody help me out here. Is that the access that we have? Maybe Dr. Wallo and the rest of the guys can help me, but I don't see how we can pass. And I had such a high grade. And when you look at the graphs, man, it's like everybody can get hands on international market, access to it. What are the markets again? I wouldn't want to waste my time here and talk things out. I'm not too educated too. But again, I just need to understand what's the gradation. What are they looking at? What are the what I mean? What how is it being graded? So you see, you are submit.
So I mean, I think your point is worth taking, and for me, I see this like a serious joke that somebody just want to put something out there like a false grade sheet, so we can be giving some um, amount of money to come into the country, so that those people that are above can benefit from those money coming into the country. Look, it's a serious joke. After discussing this, we're going to discuss Ghana um, scorecard as well. Inflation, you spoke on it. I'm not going to talk much about it. But access to credit, that's very important. We talk about growth, developing the economy. How can somebody look? It's 31% out of you. Look at the population, 5 million plus people. If a poor man cannot go to the bank to get money or loan for the bank, he cannot do anything in that country. Like the water said, those things access will be given to government employees, like the senators, representatives, like the lawyers and all these guys in big positions. What is there for the poor man? Nothing. Now, down here where they say women in the economy, I doubt it. It should be children in the economy, not women. Because a lot of children in down water side really selling.
The market
It
will
should
be
be.
the market will be
But I'm saying, but you go to the marketplaces, there are more children in there than women and men.
Yeah,
true.
So we should be putting on here children in the economy. Look, it's a disgrace to see this card, and then we boasting of a country. Look at what employment opportunity, 9%. And the water said it. The higher employer in the country is the government. It is so sick and tiring to hear these. And then the citizen I keep making the same mistake upon election upon election. What can be done in Liberia to change the mind, to reshape the mind of Liberians to vote the right people in offices? This is sad. Now, let's calm down a little bit more. Look at workforce development, not apply, not applicable.
That's a joke.
Not, huh?
No, I was just saying that's a joke.
Yeah. And look at, we're talking about government accountability. What accountability can it give? Joseph Braga couldn't even account for what happened in Foya that was building right under his nose. Now he denounced it that it's not his property. And you're talking about accountability? Look, guys, control of corruption. And they grade themselves pretty high. 56%. Corruption in Liberia? Man, come on. That's a joke. Look, I don't think we should spend much time on this. Yes.
let me say something.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sure.
Go ahead, Dr.
Okay.
Waller.
Thank you. So I'm looking at the graph here. So the 20 indicators are placed on three different categories.
Uh-huh.
So the first one, see when you go up, just scroll up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so you see, when you see up here, you see
Economic
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 freedom.
freedom. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so under economic freedom, you have no one
Investing
second,
in
one second, CEO.
go back up.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So on economic freedom, you have
You can throw.
10 indicators,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And out of the 10 indicators, we failed four of them,
Yes.
right? Things that indicate that we are doing better with our economy. Okay. So inflation, okay, trade policy, access to credit, international market access, property and land rights. That is something that even from the early time we have been struggling with, uh, but yet we pass it. Regulatory quality, okay, women in the economy. This CEO, I think you are. I think the point you're making, the women in the economy means how many women are participating in the economy, right? And
Yeah.
the point you are making is that there are a lot of children that have become breadwinners
Yep.
that are in that are selling, that are in the street trying to get money for their family compared to actual women being in the economy. I think that's the point you are making, right?
Yes.
And you are right about that.
And I was trying to be
Employment
sarcastic too.
opportunity, employment opportunity. Business startup. Okay, everyone has been talking I think over and over. There are no new businesses that are being started because there is no private sector,
No.
right? So people are not investing into starting new businesses, and when you don't start new businesses, or when there is no private sector, you can get employment, right? There's no employment opportunity, right? So the economic freedom, that is what it is now. CEO, can you stroll a little bit? This is the place that I want Labyrinth to pay attention. Okay, you see it,
Yeah. Investing in
Investing
people.
in people.
you see investing in people,
Look at that.
health expenditures. We passed that one, right? And then chronic disease. I think the way the we are administration handle Ebola, not Ebola now, but the COVID
COVID.
19.
Yeah, COVID-19.
I think that's what is indicated here,
Yeah.
because I think from the Ebola and the COVID-19,
Yeah.
I think the international community helped us to set up structure that can detect ahead of time chronic diseases.
And I think
But look,
based on the
but look at it,
vaccination too.
right? But look at the four that we failed in, right? Workforce development. I said one time that even our civil servants, when was the last time the civil servant was trained? People just get hired, they get into government ministry or agencies, and they assign a job. There is no perpetual training or workshop that is being carried out for civil servants. Okay, so workforce development, we are not developing people to absorb them into the workforce, right? So we feel that means we are not investing in Liberians. Okay, we are not investing. That's why we will take foreigners or Liberians, because we are not investing in people. And you see the other one, natural resource protection. We not protect our resources.
Nope. Anybody
Anybody
grabbing it
can come
just
and just grab it
yeah.
and carry it. And I was looking at the Ghana graph. That is one thing that Ghana pass in. Nobody can go to Ghana and just exploit their natural resources. Nobody can do that.
Like what they're
We
doing right
feel
now,
that because
Pastor.
we do not do well in protecting, you know. And see, look at the other one, your girls' primary education completion rate. We feel that.
Miserably.
Right. We feel it. So that means that our girls' children, they are not even completing primary education. They are not getting primary education. Child health. We feel that miserably.
Future
So we are
leaders.
not investing in our people. That's what that's indicated. And that's what I wanted to point out. We are not investing in Liberians. And when you don't invest in your people, foreigners will come and do the job that the Liberians supposed to do. And I think that is a missed opportunity for us. We need to change course though. We really need to change course.
Yeah, and CEO.
The way it is going. If it continues like that, foreigners will become president in Liberia there because we will not have competent people to lead the country.
Yeah, CEO. Let me just borrow 1 minute here, please.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Again, under the first indicator, which is the economic freedom.
You want me to go back on there?
Under the economic freedom, I see property and land rights, and we
Yeah.
pass that. I struggle to accept that grade. The number of land dispute issues that's in the country. How can we pass this? I don't understand. That's why I'm still trying to understand what's the grade, what's the scheme, marking scheme. How is this thing done? Again, I need to sit with an economist, a Liberian economist who understands Liberian economic system to really educate me. At 67%, and we are passing this. CO, you and myself know right now when you go to the archive, when you go to Liberia, the number of land disputes that's in there. One person can buy one land for over 10 times or 8 times. But here we are passing this. Again, I don't understand that. But under the second one, lastly, here for me, investing in people. Investing in people. And when it comes to chronic disease, we pass that at a 60% chronic disease. The typhoid, and killing people left and right. I don't understand again. If you are passing in this kind of thing, then you are passing in your healthcare system, which is false. If you are passing with such a grade, then meaning your healthcare system must be good to the point of passing in this chronic disease or whether it's issue solved or whatnot. Again, I'm here to get a clear understanding and education on that. I just wanted to flag those two up to you.
Okay. Brother
Yeah,
Eddie, anything you want to say on that?
CEO, let me just say that these information, okay, are provided by independent third party sources.
That's the problem.
Like the World Bank, the Freedom House, and other entities, right? They are the ones that provide these information, these data to to the board. Okay,
But that's a well.
it's not it. Yeah, go ahead.
No, the issue I have, World Bank is only going to have this report based on what they present to them from Liberia. If World Bank is sending investigators in Liberia, I don't know if that's for a fact.
I think World Bank have representatives in Liberia.
They do have
And this
representatives,
is the
but
finding they're
they
coming
had
with, then
they
that's a
had to
problem.
work with Gafuan, wherever he is, and
Gaffer is just the Minister of Finance. They don't have to work with him. There are other entities that's in place for this.
yeah. But when it
Yeah,
comes to the
Well,
when it comes to the economic freedom too, he has to play a part in there, because I mean, look, I agree with everybody here, gentlemen. Eddie, you want to chip in real quick before we go to Ghana scorecard and make some comparisons?
yeah. Mr. Montgomery, though, the World Bank or the IMF, when it comes to country like Liberia, right? They got all the guardrails how you can assess countries. If they want to establish bank or whatever, they're going to go through all that stuff. But you know what happens?
No.
They lax these steps when it comes to them because they want you to be a debtor. So they don't even need to have somebody in Liberia. They want you to
Yep.
credit from them.
Yep.
So they're gonna lax everything. So you can't depend on them. They want you to be everything for you to be qualified to borrow from them. That's what they want. They want you to be dependent on them so you can be controlled, so you can be a tool. Now, when you go into the column where it says access to international trade and things like that, well, we do have access. Are we using it? So now that is a side up there trying to make you a psychological sense, or keep you to be a customer because we're buying that stuff.
Yeah, Johnny Goose. Yeah.
So they gotta grade you almost 100% because you're buying, you're not participating, you're not selling anything to them. That's another thing when you look at access to credit over there. Every time we look at access to credit in the country, that's what we need thinkers in the country. We look at it in like a 1 cent, and which is not, it's not wrong. We look at it in do you have, you go to the bank to go borrow, do you have property, do you have collateral, do you have a farmland, do you have a land? If you don't have money so we can borrow, we look at it that way, right? But have you ever thought about intellectual property? Like a little kid that have this super genius mind of flipping furniture, where you
Right,
can look
right.
at his stuff and bet on him. Have you thought about that? That's why Silicon Valley got more money in the country than most people. Have we bet on the minds of the young Liberian people? We just look at it in a physical way. Have you seen the beginning in the place those Zogo and like in Fisker and stuff? Have you ever bet on them and put a whole a car place over there and bet on them, take a risk on them, and look at the rewards? We never done that. So every time we look at it, we're like, oh, do you have money? Are you broke? Are you a businessman? But we never bet on the intellectual mind of Liberian kids. And we got one of the youngest population over there, which is always a benefit because young people, when they're in school, they're smarter than older people. We got a lot of stuff on our mind. Again, in the 80s and stuff, Liberia always won that wired context because we always graduating at age of 16. I would hear Brown, whatever, was slated to graduate at age of 16. That's how Liberia, that's the path that we're on. We had Tommy High and stuff. But we never think about it like that. We never bet on the intellectual property of the Liberian kids. Thus, the investment in people. So you need people with new vision. I was just talking to Brian yesterday. I was watching a video about all the geologists and the scientists in Angola. They're all young kids, black kids, all young kids, 100%. We've never gone to that. So when you look at a child like this, it's psychological meant to pump you up, to make you feel like things are not bad enough, and to make you accessible to credit so you can be controlled. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
All right. So, gentlemen, we still on the same topic, but now I'm going to switch over to Ghana scorecard and the comparison I'll be making here. Okay, let's, and I'll be going back and forth with it. All right. So now this is Ghana scorecard. Now look at Ghana population, right? The total population is 34 million plus people in the country. Okay. Now, based on the same criteria, Liberia were chosen to, for the scorecard. So look at it. Look at the first part of Ghana scorecard.
Yeah.
They feel inflation, right? Trade
Trade policy.
But they have access to credit. But they're at 63%. So that's a plus for them. But I don't know if the inflation part of it, property and land rights. Now, on this category, 1, 2, 3, 4, Ghana passed 4. Now, let's switch back to Liberia. On this category, in Liberia passed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
That's my point. That's why I was going to go to CEO. I was going to tell you, say, if you look at this gradation from without looking at the population between the two countries, you made Liberia look like a superstar here against Ghana. Because Ghana failed. I'm coming.
No.
Ghana,
Okay, go ahead.
Ghana failed.
No, but
Edwin,
when you look at
Edwin.
Go ahead, Montgomery. I don't want to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. I was just trying to see if you are not looking at the what's my train of thought here? The population between both countries. Obviously, Liberia becomes a superstar here. 1, Ghana fails 6 in the first indicator.
Yeah.
And pass 4. And even the 4 that we pass, okay, go ahead, Edwin. Provide that indication for me.
What I'm saying is when you look at our inflation, how we pass 8.2, Ghanaian inflation fail rate makes sense. Ghanaian people have an economic activity. We don't have an economic activity, and they don't have an incomplete on the grade. We don't have no economic. They can't say either fail or pass. You don't have no economic activity, so you can measure Ghanaian inflation activity, and that 22% might be correct because you can measure it. We don't have economic activity.
Okay, but Edwin, what you mean we don't have economic activity?
Yeah, you got people that are going to market, brother.
No, measurable data. Not the market with me. Like, if you have commerce and things, VAT established taxes, businesses are coming, new businesses opening, you can measure all these stuff. That's economic activity. That's what people look at as economic activity. Yeah.
We do. Just say it's not.
No, but even someone go in the market and buy something, that's an economic activity.
That's an activity.
Why you
recorded?
What?
Edwin, just say it's not recorded.
It's not recorded. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking
about the data. You're talking about we don't have a way to capture the data for our
Yes.
economic activities.
Yes.
One
Yeah.
hundred
That's what he's trying
percent
to say.
correct. That's what I'm
Got you.
saying. That's what
Got
I'm
you.
saying. We can't measure them because from for time memorial, we got people that have been doing business, or some people that are not your business people, kerosene seller, and they're all in the economic.
So now you see the reason why I was asking, how is this gradation done? How is this marking scheme? How are people collecting this data?
Yeah,
Eh? How
but
are people
Jesse,
collecting this data?
to some point, what Edwin is saying, is right.
No,
And
no, no.
what
I
you
agree
say,
with my brother.
what you say is 100% right, Jesse. You need, you need to know what is being instituted to collect this information.
Right.
Now, the
I want
information
to know.
collected from Liberia, I would say, is just on registered businesses. That's what I would say, coming from commerce. All
I
those
think
registered
so.
businesses in Liberia, that's what they're
Yeah.
providing information for too. And then based on the population, that's why Liberia passed the inflation rate. Because based
That
on
makes sense.
how many people working in the government and
Low
how many
spending, low
businesses are
budget.
registered, and maybe that's how Liberia were able to pass the inflation on that stuff. But comparing, if we have statistic, digital digital analysis where we can track all those market women funds are coming in day to day, right? Being recorded
Yeah.
and sent to commerce, then yeah, we say yeah, we can say yes. We have a full scale economic grading system. But Ghana is equipped, so Ghana should have those things. So we can compare that to to Liberia. But again, let's go back to the scorecard for Ghana. And Comrade, um, Montgomery, you're making a point. You are saying something on. So
So let me say something, CEO.
go ahead.
Okay. So when you look at it, when you look at the scorecard, so when you look all the way up, you see the population.
Yeah,
Ghana population is 34.4 million people.
yeah,
Okay, you see what I'm talking about, right?
yeah. We see
And then the GNI is the gross national income,
yeah,
right? And you see Ghana gross national income, it's two thousand 320.
you got it.
Now when you look at Liberia's, okay, so the 2,320 is per person. Now you look at Liberia, okay, thank you to you. Liberia is
760.
actually 760 per per person. So actually you can see that Ghana economy is much better than Liberia's economy. Now let me just read something here about the GNI. It's the total income earned by a country's residents and businesses, including income from overseas minus income earned by foreigners within a country. It's a key measure of a nation's economic output and well-being,
Yeah,
right? So the fact that that Ghana is higher than Liberia, you can see, even though the economic freedom here, Ghana failed, I think six of them. But just from the GNI, you can know that Ghana economy is better, and Ghana population is actually higher. So the measure that would be used for Ghana would be quite different from Liberia.
Right. Right.
Okay,
But
so
but
so
that's
if
a
so 1 second. So
that
Ghana and feeling six, and Liberia feeling four or whatsoever. It doesn't mean that Liberia is doing better. Just the measures are
measure.
quite different because of the population and the GNI. I would think,
Yeah.
right?
But
Yeah.
that
That
the
makes
what
sense. Yeah.
that the what I would differ with you on
but
that.
that
I
what
think
your
it's a
GNI is
country.
2320.
No, Liberia GNI is not
Liberia's
2320.
GNI.
No, it's not.
No,
What
that's
what's
760.
Ghana.
that's
This is
Ghana?
That's
Liberia.
What's Liberia? Oh,
760.
780. Okay, yeah.
760.
Okay, 760. Okay.
Yeah. That the what where I would tend to differ from you on that. I think is country to is country and a country. So I think everybody fit the same standards. So I I would just say maybe it's just the way Ghana handles her economy and her people. Maybe that's why Ghana, you know, GNI is 23 2320. But again, access to credit it's a plus for Ghana because then uh, farmers, business owners, business-minded people can go to the bank and get credit and establish a business.
And yeah, and CEO,
Yeah.
the inflation part of it, Ghana fitting the inflation part, to me it makes
Uh-huh.
sense because because Ghana uses the CD. Okay, so things are a little high in Ghana. Uh, and Liberia, so Liberia we use dual currency.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe they are taking into consideration the USD.
Oh.
Okay, because most of the purchasing are done in US dollar. Okay, in Liberia, even if you go to wholesale stores, they
Yeah.
don't want a Liberian dollar; they want a US.
Is that a
Right?
good
Even
thing?
if you are giving a Liberian dollar, they want the equivalent of that.
Is that a good thing?
Right? So maybe that's what it is. If we were using the one currency, the Liberian dollar, I think it might have told a different story. You know,
Okay. Dr. Water,
who knows?
guys, you look at it. Look at the employment opportunity in Ghana. Look at the scorecard. Can you guys hear me?
Again, it's not surprising though. Yeah, it's
No,
not
no,
surprising.
it's not surprising, and that's what a country should be doing. Okay,
Yeah,
creating
Yep.
opportunity for your
but
people.
CEO,
Yes,
local ruling just like
I'm
colon.
about to say the same thing.
Ghana pass
They pass
all.
everything. Yeah, look,
Right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
personal
Yep.
freedom, government accountability, control of corruption,
look
government
at freedom.
effectiveness, the rule of law.
Look at control of corruption.
Tata, whether you're
76.
right, that's completely correlate. It correlates. It's completely correlate. Yeah.
The indicators that that's supposed to make our economy better and keep our economy stable, those are the areas that we fail. Most like then look at the rule of law.
Dr. Waller,
Ghana
one
passed it,
point.
but we
Let me make
failed.
one
We
point
failed
right
the
quick.
rule of law. We failed government effectiveness,
Yes,
right?
Dr.
So
Waller, you look at workforce development,
Yeah,
investing in
seventy
people.
percent.
You see that? 70%. Look at the natural
right,
resource protection.
that yeah, exactly,
Look,
exactly.
look.
But
So
you see, CEO, that could also be because you see in Ghana, there's a lot. They invest in in privatization. You got a lot of private owned businesses that are owning that are employing people. And so Ghana, you don't really have to have a government job. Whereas Liberia, everyone looks to the government to for employment, and so Ghana will have to pass this because you got a lot of privatization. You got a lot of private owned businesses in Ghana,
Because the people
and
believe
so
in
when it comes to that
themselves.
workforce development, yeah,
So, but the workforce development, what Dr. Waller was saying, what you do, education, you train your
yeah,
people, new updates on what the job
investing in people.
requires. Yeah, you train them, keep them updated. Gentlemen, so, all right, we got to go to another topic. So, let me get back to the screen here. So, overall, right, I just want to hear from you guys. Overall, what would be your thoughts and your process just by looking at the scorecard of Liberia and Ghana? I can go first if you guys want me to. So this is what I would say. Liberia, we stay need um a long way to we still have a long way to go. But this can be achievable if we be real and um, truthful to ourselves and to our people and let them know that this country can get better if we all work hard, but give them the opportunity for them to develop themselves. Like access to credit, like providing jobs, opening private sector, investing in the private sector. That's another part we're going to come to too, because the World Bank, the read an article on that on how Liberia can better improve the economy. But again, Ghana is doing an excellent job. It's a plus to Ghana. I think we should be doing this side by side comparison. In a way, maybe people in Liberia will grab some information and say, "Oh, this is our neighboring country. You're doing okay." And Liberia is older than Ghana by 100 years plus. So again, if this country is doing good, let model what Ghana is doing, and we can do better. Again, it's a plus to Ghana, Liberia. We still got a long way to go. Gentlemen, anybody else
And
want to comment?
and this is where I would come from, right? First,
Yeah.
I would give credit to the Republic of Liberia for even passing the MCC school card. Yeah, let me just give that. But also in these things that we are filling in, if you want to ask me, I think we need to send expert. We need to send few people investing in people, send them to Ghana and see what they are doing right. Come back to Liberia and share the wealth, share the knowledge. Because we in Ghana we have that sister brother relationship. So yeah, just send few expertise there, learn, and come back, and see what they are doing right. And Liberia we already have that small population, so to really do well in our country is easy.
Okay. Anybody else?
Well, it's good to try to go to Ghana and borrow some ideas, but the first of all, Ghana people don't have Zogos. You have Zogos, that's a problem. Um, because you're not educating your population. So for you to bring somebody to help you, people got to execute it, right? People got
Yeah,
to execute what they're helping you with. You can't just bring bunks or CPAs and nobody know how, they don't know how to use the spreadsheet.
but you got
So you need
students
to
in
fix.
LU now.
Edwin,
You
come
can
on.
invest in the
Come
student for
on.
LU, my man. Don't
Come
do
on, Edwin.
that.
Edwin.
How many students do
I
you
would
have,
disagree
bro?
with you on that.
You got over
The
2,000 students in LU, my brother.
How many? No,
talented
no.
and
How many
educated
students you can?
Liberians. I disagree with you on
Oh
that,
my
bro.
God.
I
Yeah,
disagree
that's
with
why I
you.
would disagree,
Big
my
time.
brother.
I
You got
disagree
over
with you on
2,000
that.
students in
You,
LU.
I
you know
disagree
why?
with you.
You know why though? If I were ready that MCC scorecard, just based on what you're saying, I already exactly like that. Like first on the pass everything. So the way you're sounding, like first on the pass everything. This is the reason why people keep putting side on you guys. You're refusing reality. That's the problem. That's why people can get right anything,
Sam,
but you just switch
Sam,
your mind a
your
little
country
bit.
has
You're talking
CPAs.
about a
We have
lot of
no
skillful
Sam.
people.
Sam, we have CPAs. We have some skillful, educated, learn-minded Liberian in
Yeah,
our
Edwin,
country.
come on now.
Don't no. I
Okay,
disagree with you on
okay,
that, bro.
okay.
Big time.
Y'all
I
living out,
disagree
y'all
with you.
living out war. But anyway, like with all the breakdown, like on a serious note, with all the breakdown, and everything, the summation of the whole thing is GDP.
Yeah,
Ghana population is 34 million. Liberia population is 5 million. Ghana's GDP is 112 billion. Liberia GDP is 5.118 billion. Comparatively, Liberia GDP is only be somewhere around 22 billion. If you have a higher income of GDP going to, everything's gonna self-fix itself. So Ghana economy is circulating. We are more than 4 times below what we're supposed to be as a GDP. So the money not going around.
right.
Everybody, the money not going around. Everything boils down to GDP. The rule of law correlates to the economy. Like what did I say the last podcast? If you want to fix the private sector, you need to strengthen the security so people can invest in your country. That's why you see Ghana, they're all flying colors in rule of law. Anything has to do with economy, you got to be flying colors in rule of law. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
That's all.
and yeah. So what I would say is that just looking at a scorecard for Liberia, uh, I mean, keeping everything constant as it is on the scorecard, it actually indicates that there are progress
Yeah,
being made. Now, just looking at the scorecard now, right? Just the
but
scorecard,
the
there are
reality,
the progress being made because I think this is the first time Liberia has passed in a long time, you know, and when international organizations, international investment firms, international businesses look at your scorecard, right? And based on what they see, it can give them more confidence. That's what I wish we would have passed the rule of law, right? At least to give them
Yep.
confidence that Liberia, respect rule of law. Yeah, their investment will be protected based on the law, and stuff like that. And also we also have some challenges, right? We have some challenges, most especially in the rule of law and government effectiveness. We really, really need to do much better in with those indicators. And just think about the girls' primary education. Girls are not completing primary education. Just think about that. It's so disturbing, man. We have to do better with the areas that that we did not meet the standard, and focus on improving those areas that we have done better. Let's continue to improve that, because that will send a strong indication to investors for them to come and invest in our country. But looking at the scorecard for Liberia, I think we should congratulate the government for passing, for passing the first time in a very long time, and hopefully we can get a grant. That would be money that we can invest in key sectors of our economy, so that Liberians can reap the dividends of that.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah,
that water.
that well, I really
Thank
want
you.
to be optimistic like you. I really want to, but I can't. I can't tell my brain to be as optimistic as you. I'm in the freezer. I can't tell myself it's hot, bro. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I appreciate you.
That's
Your
okay.
pastor. You
It's
gotta give
okay.
people the war and everything. Yeah, but I can't.
All right, all right, gentlemen. So now that concludes our discussion on the MCC scorecard, Liberia versus Ghana. Maybe we have some little thoughts again during the closing time. Now we're gonna transition into something different. Now we're gonna transition to some videos. We're gonna talk about government abuse of power across the government, and then I'm gonna play multiple videos, and then we're gonna talk about teenage sexual abuse as well. So I'm gonna play two videos here. Your first video is kind of a little bit disturbing, but guys, can you can you see that video?
Yeah.
We're
Okay,
seeing it.
all right. So that's one. Let me play this. Let me play the other video, and I want us to.
I think let's speak on one, then we'll go to the next video instead
You
of playing
sure?
all two.
Okay, I'll just
Yeah.
because it's all about it. Okay, that's fine. Let's speak on this video. All right. So as you can see there, I really don't know what really transpired between these law enforcement officers, the LDA, and this lady. But what I can speak to directly is the apprehension, uh, how they are handling this lady. She did not pose a threat to none of these people. And see this man that is standing in front of her. See this guy. Look at how big this guy is. Look at his body size. And slapping that lady in the face who hasn't done anything to fight back. Look, this is just abuse of power. I would say this is not something that we should be looking at. This is disgraceful, and these guys in this uniform, apparently, I would suggest need to be lose a job, because there's nothing warranting that they have been threatened. You know, for this young lady to receive the treatment she got from them. Now, notwithstanding, like I said, I don't know what she did, but at this apparent movement, okay, at this time, she is not fighting back. She's not being aggressive to them. But again, I will let you guys speak on it, and then we go from there.
Yeah. Let me jumpstart here. First of all, you see, any form of violence, whether you're security or whether you have the law or the power to do so, I think Liberia, we have not trained our police officers well to know the power they have versus the power they can exert on people. You know, it's just sad that, I mean, let's not just, it's not just Liberia, even here in the states. But for Liberia to just, we have not put respect to our women. We have not. We don't know how to cherish our women when it comes to whatever it is. When you look at men beating a wife and any kind of stuff like that. As a police officer, but by the way, just for the news, those two were those two were terminated. They got fired, by the way,
Good.
and that's a credit to the police force. When they saw that, they got fired. But my thing is, at least somebody was there to record this for us to see. But Joe, there are a lot more of these cases going on all around the country that we may not have the opportunity to see.
Yep.
So then, what become of those cases? I want to believe they only got fired because now the world has seen this. But the ones that are not seeing, that's the what that those are the ones that I have problem with. So I think our police officer, our security sector needs more education. You cannot go upon arrest, even the person provides some kind of threat. That's why you are trained. You de-escalate and then you apprehend. But
Yes.
not to go and start exerting
Abusing
force, that kind of excessive
force. Yeah.
force on a person who stands at no risk.
Yeah.
And you
She's
have
not
another
threatening.
female officer who is even doing that to her fellow female. So that's the issue I have with that. But I think the fact that they were fired from the position, I just give kudos to the Liberian police.
That's good.
I, all right, so completely unprofessional, but you can you can put this on low training and low pay, because if somebody doesn't think about a job in mind when they're doing things, which means they don't care about the pay. And also these interactions that have been going on in our country, they breed retaliation. That girl is in the ghetto. She got brothers. We know what little kids can do with guns in our country. She got brothers. She got cousins. You can get away with it on the camera. They can show it to her overnight, and you're gonna be gone. And the cycles continues. It continues. It continues. We have to treat our professionals so they can be professional. An armed robber can get hurt doing a burglary over here. They can take them to the hospital before, how you call it, they take them to prison. So if the professionalism is there, and also if they have something to lose, like when I job and a salary and stuff, they're gonna self-correct themselves. They're gonna be a little bit restrained because they should have all the professionalism to restrain themselves in a situation like this, psychology and all that stuff. But first of all, the pay is not really there, and we can do anything that we want over there. These, I don't know what the police will pay in our country, but I'm going to tell you that
I think
it's
it's like
not something that somebody's
$100
worrying
to
about losing.
150.
150.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so and we got to up the pay of those people and then train people more well, and then look at the value of not being look at the value, putting value on professionalism. That's what we have to do. But most of these situations, they just breed retaliation and over and over and over again. He got away with it. They got guns, but they're gonna re up on him overnight or something. That's a fact.
All right. Thank you. The water.
Yeah. There's this post on Instagram. It says the LRB influence. He posted that the Labrador Drugs Enforcement Agency has dismissed Officer Solomon Bondu and Faith Willie following the circulation of a disturbing social media video in which they were seen slapping two female drug suspects. Um, so, as Pastor Cromer indicated, it was good that the LDA,
Yep.
dismissed the two officers. But that is what I would say. It's not just the LDEA. I can say all of our security apparatus, they have not been trained to deal with people that are struggling with drug addiction. Hello, addiction to substances is real in Liberia. Majority of our young people are being addicted to different substances every day. When you are addicted, it jeopardizes your decision making process. You don't make right decisions, you don't do things right. Police officers, LDEA, other security personnel is going to come in contact with our brothers and sisters that are struggling with drug addiction. I think effective training needs to be provided to them on how to treat and deal with that population,
Yeah.
right? Because what we see happening there is, two officers using their position to abuse to abuse Liberian women, all because they are taking drugs. Liberian young people did not ask for drugs. They ask for better schools. They ask for jobs. They ask for stable economy. They ask for stable country. They brought war on us when we were still young, aspiring to be better people for our country. They brought war. That is the effect of the war. We are not talking about treating these young people. We are not talking about treating these people with addiction, but we are abusing them on top of what they are struggling with. Addiction is a mental health issue. President Walker said addiction was public enemy number one when you won an election. What is being done? Putting LDEA agents in the street does not mean treatment. These children need treatment. They need to be treated. And government needs to provide a place for them to go for treatment. We are not doing that. All we are doing is we are abusing it. You see, let me tell you something, CEO. When we are not careful how we treat the most vulnerable of our population, it's going to destabilize our country. These children are vulnerable. Yep. That's not where you carry your power. That's where you carry your professionalism, how to deal with them. But because they are not trained how to deal with this population, so they are abusing them. I mean, see that video. You see, we don't value Liberian lives. We don't. That is an abuse of power, and I'm happy that they were dismissed so that it can send a clear message that not because people are addicted to drugs, so they should be abused. They should be assaulted.
Apparently,
in the street, in the public. No one has the right to abuse Liberians, or because they are addicted to a substance. Addiction is everywhere. It's in the United States, a developed country, right? The most equipped country, the facilities we have here in the United States, but people are still suffering from addiction. I don't know about Liberia.
But again, yeah, you're right, the water. But the problem
so see what let me just close my thought on that. You see what you see though LDA agents were doing, because they see that their leaders are doing exactly the same thing. Liberians will follow our leaders.
Yep. Abuse of power. Yeah.
Okay. We follow our leaders because our leaders always use their position to abuse the most vulnerable in our population. That's exactly what they are only that video you show. See, it just shows the problem that we have in our country. We have a serious problem in our country. It's not just in the security sector. It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah. But the water. One thing again, if we all come to terms to understand why some of these people take drugs, then we will kind of understand how to handle the issue. Most of these people doing drugs in Liberia, like you said, post-war effect, like those kids that were doing drugs during the wartime, they came out. That's all they know. Now, some of the kids are doing drugs because that's how they cope. Okay, with reality, with situation. That's how they keep themselves calm. in difficult situation. In a country that has a large poverty rate, you will find people, people will find something to kind of calm them down, to ease the mind, to erase the stress out of the mind.
Yeah.
And these things we need to understand it. Liberia has not provided any social benefits or economic benefits for the poor people in Liberia. We have not. We don't have social welfare programs that these people are benefiting from. But to look at them and just be aggressive and rude and mean to them, I just think it's so sad. We should embrace them and take them as Liberian. And let us be mindful of what we do. You know, again, it's sad, but we have a long way to go to the water. My thing is, look at that man. He's a big guy. He looks like he's about 6'5", 300 pounds, muscular. So tell me what happened in his house when his wife disagree with him or his girlfriend disagree with him. He put his
I meant to get to the house.
yes, I have to. Because if you do it outside, you can do it home.
No, Edwin, CEO is right. I mean, that's a lady. Look at him, how muscular that guy is.
Yes.
And he's slapping her in the face. He's slapping her
sad.
in the face. That's, I mean, you don't have sisters?
What?
You
I'm
can
not. I'm
respect
not
this.
disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with Brian. I'm agreeing with him, but it's funny to me because that all these things they have been foreshadowed. I talk to my friend all the time. I've been telling you that this is the evil that we have going on. I always tell you I have a slogan that says "Sit there running like bro." That's all. That's my slogan. Sit there running like bro.
All right, gentlemen. Let's go to the next video, and then we have more time to talk on some of these things. Okay. The next one is kind of a little bit disturbing. All right.
The National Security Agency has suspended a senior official following serious allegations of sexual assault involving a man in Monrovia. Peter Bonjala, Special Assistant to NSA Director, retired Major General Prince Johnson, is accused of gang sodomizing a 15-year-old boy in the single area in late December 2025. The allegation has sparked widespread public outrage. Police confirmed that Jala was arrested and is being held at the Liberia National Police Headquarters after the victim's family reported the incident. The teenager was found in critical condition near a single beach and remains hospitalized. Relatives say the victim identified Jara and two other mental medical workers and police as those involved. Sources say NSA Director Prince Johnson ordered Jala's immediate suspension pending investigation. However, neither the NSA nor police have issued an official public statement. Human rights groups are calling for transparency, while authorities stress that cases involving minors require confidentiality. All allegations remain unproven and subject to judicial determination. From British Africa Report, I'm Obadiah Johnson.
All right, gentlemen. I don't know. Do you guys want
Yeah.
me to replay that?
No, CEO. That's fine. That's fine. That's
Okay.
fine.
Sergeant Montgomery,
Let me.
do you want to comment first?
Yeah. Let me comment. Let me comment because as father of boys, I was on another show talking on this issue. As father of boys, a man who love my kids so much, right? I kid you not. If I was in Liberia, maybe one of you guys would have heard that. Maybe I got arrested. I guarantee you. I mean, three able-bodied men sodomized a 15-year-old child. And by the way, newsflash, that child lost his life 2 nights ago.
What?
I
Really?
just sent a yeah, I just sent a video in the chat room.
Oh my God.
That child lost his life at the hospital while they were trying to treat him, resuscitate him. All right. And we were able to speak to one of the family on another show. who called the show and said that. Yeah. But you know, CEO, just give me 2 minutes here, right?
Go ahead.
I Nothing hurt me so much, right? But you see, let me speak to what words can do. You see the human body, right? Especially when it comes to the upper torso, right? Like your head, right? We got almost what 7 gates: your 2 ears, your nostrils, your mouth, right? Those are places for to take things and for things to come out. Yeah, yeah, bear with me. But the specific ones that we use, like the mouth, whenever a word comes out of this mouth, it's irreversible. So what you want to do is to watch what you are saying, be mindful of what you're saying, because once it gets out there, it's hard to take back. Now, our Jesse here, our Leo here, could be, God forbid, just using a scenario, could be planning to harm an Edwin, my brother. Never happen, would never happen, of course. But the fact that I say it, even if I don't mean it, or Joseph Brown, who also on the other side, who is now planning to harm the St. Edwin, but have not said it, capitalize on the word that I said. He goes and acts upon the word I Jesse used, but didn't capitalize on it. But Joseph, who did not use the word, what am I saying here? Words have weights. The Bible says life and death depends on the power of our tongue.
Yep.
What pisses me off, and sorry for using this expression, is we have a president who came into office and said he's willing to do anything. People take these things for granted, and so all the men are just saying it passively. But look, the devil is not a person to joke with, to say, oh, I'm going to joke with the devil. No. Words carry heavy weight. Whatever the president said, that I'm willing to dance with the devil to become president, these are the dances that we are seeing. Men at the echelon of higher office are sodomizing, and these are all government officials. You name it. What is the former LFA boss, the McGill guy, the Brian McGill guy, and now this other LDO boss? I mean, 3 of them gang raped. And when the lady called yesterday, she said, yes, the child actually died yesterday. This was yesterday when we were having another show. But they kept this child, CEO. They kept this child 3 days. And what they did to him, they took his life, of course, lifeless body, but they went and dropped him at the beach when other people saw him. But guess what? At the hospital, he was able to say it because he knew this guy. You know why they did that? This Jala guy promised this kid a soccer boost. Say, come to my house, I'll buy you soccer boost. And when the kid went there, they kept him soccer shoes. And when the ball went there, they kept him. And so the video I sent to you, that was he dying. So and they were asking him, but he didn't make it even 2 minutes after he said what he said there. I can't go forward because then somebody take you off from them.
Look, gentlemen, and again, this is a disgrace to the nation, and I think this is where the Liberian government should have issued, arrest for all of these guys, and come up with a public statement that no one will walk free who sexually abuse a child. No one will be excused, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of your status in Liberia. If you found guilty of sexually abusing any child or anybody for that matter related to, be it an elderly, dogs, any kind of animal or something, you will face the law. This is saddening. Yes.
No, and
This is very saddening, and I think we should. I have a son, and everybody here, we do have children. And my grandbrother have 5 boys. You know what it means? A child who take you as an uncle, as a father, comes to your office because you offer him a soccer shoes. What is a soccer shoes? How much is a soccer shoes to end somebody's life? To end somebody's life. honestly speaking, man, sometimes people say it's hard to do this stuff, but this should be a jungle justice, eye for an eye, and this should be done publicly. This should be an eye for an eye. If we hurt another family, and you think we're gonna just handcuff you and put you in an air-conditioned car and drive you to South Beach and give you a free pass because you have people in government, that's bullshit. This is sad, and this is time Liberia. We need, and Joseph Boakai need to come out strongly against all the abuses in Liberia. At this time, I'll just give somebody the time to talk, and then I'll come back later on, and then we all can talk about this because this is personal to me now.
Yeah, let me say this. Well, Pastor Command, thank you for putting that video in a chart, and I was saying, well, is the video verified? But you said that the lady came and attested that the child passed, the boy passed away. Um, I listened to someone on Spoon Talk, and he gave this parable that just stuck in my head. He said, if a dog bites a man, that's not news. But if a man bites a dog, then that become news, right? What I'm saying is that this kind of thing supposed to bring a nation to its
Together.
knees.
Mm.
A 15-year-old, I'm not going to use sodomize. Someone has sex with him. People had sex with him, and it resulted into his death. What are we becoming as a nation? What are we becoming as a country? People are sick. People are sick. And CEO, let me say this. If you've been following the former speaker's action case, the first gentlemen that were arrested, they said exactly the same thing, that they
Yep.
were summarized by the NSA,
Yep.
and nobody gave it attention. The entire NSA need to be investigated. The entire NSA needs to be investigated because there so much thing is going on down there. At least we know about this little boy that passed away because he called names of people there. But do you know how many other issues have happened in our NSA that we don't know about? How many other boys that have been sodomized that we don't know about? The entire NSA needs to be investigated. And if this don't break the conscience of Liberians, I don't know what will. Honestly, our country is going away from God in a very fast way. Things that we usually don't hear about Liberians. Those are the things that are happening. It becomes news when you hear, say, a 11-year-old child carry a gun on campus and fire somebody there. Those are things we are not familiar with. We are not used to those kind of news. You get sodomized, a 15-year-old, and the child died, and you are suspended. DEA leader saw somebody slapping a lady and dismissed them, and you suspended somebody that sodomized a child, and then it resulted into the child's life. And you say we suspended and waiting for investigation. If this don't break the conscience of our country, I don't know what will. Honestly,
Let me just jump in real quick, and I'll get every little bit chance. Um, there are a lot of there gonna be lots of evidence on that little boy. Okay. Don't know if they are equipped enough to get all those evidence and bring the guys to justice. And that's where the country we find ourselves now. These guys need to be arrested and need to be in jail right now they speak, as we speak. But again, what kind of a country do we have? What kind of country do we want to have? What kind of country we will have? And what kind of country will be left for our generation and generation to come? Is this nonsense we're gonna keep seeing? Why should government officials engage in acts like these? You want to do your devilish act? Go somewhere else. Why always it got to be the poor people who cannot defend themselves financially? They represent them. They have a representation. Nobody will listen to them. These are the people they abuse. Look, this nonsense
Yeah,
is gonna
Edwin,
stop.
Edwin, if I can just borrow 1 minute, I mean, CEO said something that struck me, right? You know, there's another video where the child's mother is saying, "Oh, the police officer, after they apprehended the culprit, the guy, the
You
deputy boss, the NSA
you
boss."
you want to play that video?
No, no, hold on, don't need. I mean, but the lady was saying that, "Oh, the boy he talking now, he in the hospital." So to hear that he passed away, he died. Look at what Gregory Como said in the Brian McGill case. He said there's no DNA machine to test. So did this boy really die or he was killed? I'll leave that. Edwin will take it from there.
Well, the reason why I'm quiet, I'm not interjecting again. These are stuff I've been saying for a long time. Our country is spiritually dead. If you ask me point blank, what these kind of act, because they want power. So if you go in the
Sure,
spiritual realm, they're doing it for power. Even in our country, when the election
sure.
time, like you see little kids disappearing in the car era over the high man stuff. It just is all for power. So they don't sacrifice chicken and stuff. They don't go to the devil and so they're in the city now. It's for power. They're not just doing it because they're trying to satisfy our urge. This is for
Okay.
power in the spiritual realms. All the economic messages I've been preaching on the platform is predicated on overturning the spiritual power in our country, or else nothing's gonna happen. So if anybody that goes over there, you need to do like a 30 days, like a real fasting prayer. That's what Barkana was doing, and maybe in some cases, everybody on our knee begging God. There was so much blood spilled on our country, and God is angry with that, bro. God is angry with that, bro. So many blood, people die, and heinous stuff are still going on our land. We haven't reversed that. We haven't begged God to reverse it. So it's gonna keep happening. It's gonna keep happening. These people want power. That's what they're doing. It's that simple. It's had nothing to do with uh, 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 somebody maybe they're gay or something. No, this is for power purposes. When it's in the NSA, people want to retain that position and stuff. Uh, why this man's not gonna be on suspension if the criminal is investigating a criminal? Are you kidding me? It's a whole ring. This man should be put on a firing squad and be shot right there.
Mm.
Plain and simple. It's over. Let the next person see it.
Yep.
This is
That's a
what's
good
gonna be
terror.
done to you. It's finished. Court martial, few days, put down the stuff, and then you gotta get the evil people out. When you go to Deuteronomy and Genesis, throughout Genesis, when the Jewish people were going against God, they were getting the evil people. They have a way to exterminate. You have to expurgate people from the society. People don't belong in the society. What are the chances that these guys they're gonna be found accountable? What are the chances when you put them back out in the society they're not gonna do that? This is the one you caught. What about the one that we haven't caught? This is the one that escalated to national province. This is the one that we saw. So the people need to be taken out of the society. They're not eligible to participate in a Liberian society. Until we start taking these drastic actions, we are not going to fix the problem. We got to take this drastic action. We have to expurgate these people from the entire national participation. Doesn't matter what that title is. Until then, and then only we're gonna fix these issues. It's gonna happen. The people they're power hungry. They got all the witchcraft thing they're doing. Like, bro, it's not a godly country. We always claim to be a Christian country. We are not. So it's gonna keep happening. So I'm not surprised at all, to be frank with you. I'm not surprised. So it seems shocking to you guys, but I'm not. I've been saying this thing for years. I've been saying it.
See, let me say this. Let me say this quickly.
Okay.
You see, here in the U.S., that's why sex offenders have to register, right? You have to register so that if anywhere you live,
Yeah.
people can check it out. People can know who you are, because if you did it to someone before, it's more likely you're going to do it to
Do it
someone
again.
else.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is someone that is in our National Security Agency.
Mm.
The National Security Agency assigned to the director of that agency.
Yeah.
Someone who interacts with, with the public. Most of those are the kind of people we have, because we don't have no information on whosoever that works in our government. So child predators, sex offenders, sodomizers, they all get into our security apparatus, and we give them access to citizens. And then when they get in the position of power, guess what they're going to do? They're going to use their position to abuse the poor people, children. That little boy, who knows who he could have become? His life is cut short because of our negligence of putting people in a position of power that don't deserve it. Our children that needs to be protected, they are the one that we are harming on a daily basis. Amen.
Yeah, but see, I don't know how much time. I think Edwin says something. And Dr. Wallo, you will even be in a much better position to speak on this. Uh, um, Post war, I don't know how much prayers. You see, when you are at the first citizen of the country is the president. And I keep going back to this because I know how much weight the president words carry. I know how much weight a word carry. Again, maybe I'm just too sensitive to that particular statement. But me being a child of God, to say I'm willing to dance with the devil, willing to get into an activity with the devil. And my brother Edwin just said it. Either for ritualistic purposes, I personally don't want to believe that maybe Joseph Walker meant to say what he said. It's a rally time. But you see, words got power. I just said somebody is sitting somewhere just willing to act upon your ignorance, whether you deliberately said it or not. And to have come out of almost 20 years of civil war, there hasn't been much cleansing. And now we have the man who is at the top of office declaring this kind of thing, because these are declarations. These are initiation. The president deliberately or unwillingly initiated Liberia in some kind of occultism, for which we are seeing all of these happenings. But people are not spiritual enough, some at least, to understand that these are the works of the devil. What kind of power so
But
much in brother? Go ahead, brother.
like, even like the spiritual side of things, what I'm looking at, when you go to Romans, when God give you over to a reprobate mind, right? If your mind is reprobated, these things that we're talking on here, Dr. Waller over here, been spending some time in your life trying to educate the youth and stuff. Everybody knows that education is power. Why do you think people can see these things to invest in education? Probably because our minds are reprobated. They don't have that God-like vision in them again. That's why they can't even institute a reformation education. They can't pay attention to the youth or even try to create some type of economy. To you and I were talking there, and people will go sit down and talk. They will just talk about everything that will benefit them.
Keep them
So
suppressed.
you gotta look at it that way. That minds are reprobated. They're not regular. They
See,
may speak the English to you, but they have reprobate minds.
this is where I would come from, right, on this issue. What you guys are saying here, I think Liberia at a certain point in time now we need to sit down as Liberians and have a reflection. Okay, have a reflection. If we have to do it county by county, let's do it county by county and have a reflection and deep breathing. As each county, we do it as county and then come together and do it as a nation. Maybe that could be our way forward. But without a reflection after the post war and a deep breathing for people that have been hurt and things that go in the country, we're not going to go anywhere. And I will speak to the point where you are talking about the stagnation of the country. These people in higher authority, they understand it. They know they can make reforms. They know they can reshape the government. But because
Yep.
the population minds are myopic, okay, or they are not on the path of development, so they use that as a means to benefit themselves. But to also stay in power, they have to do more ritualistic acts to stay in power and in control over the people. Now that's where in my brother just said talk about the you know uh, the praying part, the gospel part of it. So then, where are the churches in Liberia? When do church or churches in Liberia meet as a religious body to pray over that nation? Do the churches assemble together and say, all churches this coming Sunday, they preach forgiveness. All churches in Liberia this coming Sunday, they pray for the nation Liberia. No togetherness. If they can't find it in the churches, you think you find it among the people? You think you find it in government? You cannot. You cannot.
There's no church in Liberia, by the way. There's no church in
Let
Liberia.
me let me use this as an example,
Go
right?
ahead, Dr. Water.
And we've been hearing about the Epstein file.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, so when you follow that, it didn't happen just a few years ago. It happened way back.
Yes.
Girls that were abused are now women.
Grandmothers.
But guess what? The United States government is going after that because American citizens were abused.
Yep.
That's what I expect from our government. Protect your citizens. Someone sodomized, people sodomized a 15-year-old. I'm not going to blame President Bouaka for this one. But if he does not say anything about this, then we are in a big trouble. Because as Pastor Kroma indicated, the words of the president in something like this,
Yep.
in something like this, he should speak to the nation. He should speak to his people. This is not us. This is not, this shouldn't define us as Liberians. Yes, we are so many things, but we are not this. We are not this. If he cannot speak to his people, then that's where my disappointment will come from. Because there are families that are grieving. Families are
Yes.
crying. Families are crying because of what happened. Look, when you watch the video, this, it happened to just one 15-year-old. But do you know what reminder it brought to so many families?
Mm.
This is sickening. And you suspend the man. What they did to the Epstein man and wife? She's in jail. What they are investigating? She's in jail.
Yep.
It didn't stop the investigation.
He shouldn't be in the public. He is a danger to the public. That's not your first time doing that. They are just being caught, but that's not their first time. They have done it before. They are a danger to the public, and he's out in the name of being suspended. I mean, we are sick people, man. Honestly.
Yes, that's what I agree. We are sick. We're very sick people in our country. And again, uh, uh, would there be any closure on this issue as to whether this man is going to go to jail? If so, how real is he? How real it is that he's going to be in jail? He's not going to be taken away to another county by his friends. Now, would there be any
They're
compensation?
gonna send that man in Tira, bro. That man not gonna go
But I
to
know,
jail.
I'm
He's
not
gonna
gonna go to
see
jail.
But
already
CEO,
and everything.
who knows?
Jail.
Maybe I'm maybe leaving the country.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to go to jail. And
No,
that's
maybe they
sick.
have already left the maybe he
But,
already left the country. Who knows?
But
but Joe,
would there be any
but
financial compensation for the family? Would there be any?
Joe, Joe, usually what Liberia, what the people will do, they go to the family, give,
You see, Edwin
lay
Bailey trying to
5,000 here, give lay 5,000 here, maybe take over the burial, bury it. That's a dead case. But let's go back to what the police IG said when they Brian McGill raped a 14-year-old. What did he say? He said there are no DNA machine to detect if this guy did it. So for which Brian McGill is still out. He's still out of his position. The deputy LFA boss.
Oh, but
He is
but
still out
but
working.
your country can
Why
pass
am I
healthcare expenditure, but you don't have DNA machine. Okay.
citing this? This other guy too who just sort of killed this young boy. He's a deputy to the boss. So there's no this guy will go without this guy will they are untouchable. Once you have something of power, the least the most that will be done to you is suspension. You go your way, and your suspension will pay. These guys are getting paid.
Yeah, we need to stop saying that we got churches in Liberia. We don't. We do now. We need to stop that. It really, that's
Edwin,
one
we
gets to
do
be
have
more than anything.
churches in Liberia.
No, we do not. We
We
do
do have
not.
churches.
The Bible
I
says,
mean,
"Seek ye first the kingdom of God." That when you're in God, you gotta obey. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. It means exactly that, which means you gotta seek service.
yeah,
The churches in Liberia they use God as an ATM machine. How many
yeah.
posts from Facebook that said, "This is my year"? Error. How many
But
posts you got on
but
Facebook
but
over there?
I don't know, Jesse. Did you just see
Because
that other
God's an
video
ATM
about
machine today. They don't
that
want to
pastor
serve
in
it.
Liberia
It's an
saying
ATM
he's the
machine.
father of prophetic Liberia?
Prophetic, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He said he want to cut a challenge for any
A
pastor in
battle, yeah.
Liberia.
Okay,
it's a teena, bro.
we can have that conversation another time. Let's this video is
Oh
something,
Lord,
It's
man.
it's
I
troubling.
funny.
watched the video. It's sad. It is really sad.
It's troubling. But
So,
we
gentlemen,
always say,
so the next topic we won't be able to go into it.
yeah,
Is
time is
yeah,
fast.
it's a discussion of how Liberia economy can be boosted. But I will send that link to the group chat so everybody can read it, dissect it, and then come up with your questions and suggestions when we meet next Sunday. Um,
Yeah.
but I think today was better. But again, um, anybody want to comment on anything that we discussed today before we go to a closing statement?
No, I would
Any
just
point
say
you're trying to make? Uh-huh.
I would just say first of all it's been a good show. It's rare for me to just show emotions, but again, as father of boys, who love my kids. I mean, even Joe's son is my son. He's right here right now. He's right here. So that's how much I cherish kid of any, wherever, if I know the parent or not. I went to church today, and this one kid came to me, don't know me, just shaking me and shaking my hands, and I want to believe his mother was even probably looking to say, but do you know this man? Why do I say that? There are certain blessings that God just gave people, and I want to believe for me is one of that. Where kids just love me and I love kids, right? But we always say we will prepare the children for the future, but the future is not prepared for the kids. Labrador don't have a next generation. Like Dr. Wallo said, whether you call them Zogo or not, in the next 7 to 8 years, maybe 10 years, if serious grip is not handled upon for our youth,
No peace in
we
our
will
country.
fastly lose our youth. And Liberia is rich, eh? Liberia is rich in human resources, and in our capacity, in our case, is the youth. But the youth have no place in our society because they are being abused, they are drugs, and you name it. Children go to school, they are slept with by professor for grades. Children go to school. Look at that lady, that video we played the other day. They beat all 100 lashes, and that school is still open today and operating. Children are abused, whether you put them in the market to go sell or 7, 8 year old in Liberia. That's abuse. But these are the ones we see. What about the ones that we don't see? So look, man, we have churches in Liberia, but in most cases,
We do
evil.
not. I'll correct you again. We do not.
We
We do
do, we
not. We
do,
do not.
we do. But what happens is evil will not rest until it get rid of good. In this case, the
Why will
evil
you
is
have a bank in the community where you can borrow money from? There's no money in the bank. What's the essence?
there are churches in Liberia, but again, the evil is so much that these churches are even struggling to for you to hear the voices. But I would disagree with you.
All right. So to kind of wrap up things here, I think like Dr. Wallo was saying that he gave Liberia a plus for passing the MCC score card. Um, there are a lot of things on the card I would disagree with, but again, um, I would
A pass
say
is a
that
pass. Oh.
that money that is going to go to the country, it's not going to go for the benefit of the country. It's going to go right into the upper level people pockets. So if we say, "Oh, it's okay, we pass," that money is not going to be any good for Liberia because those same guys they're going to pocket the money. If that money is going to development, okay, it's going to be accounted for, then I raise my hands and salute and clap. But until then, I will tell you, the owner want that money to pocket in. Um, and like my brother Sergeant Montgomery said, like I was saying, make comparisons side by side. What you don't know, ask your neighboring country. Go there. We have a lot of smart people in our country, and when it comes to sexual abuse, physical abuse by anybody across the government, across the entire country, is not wanted, is not needed in Liberia. If we say we are a democratic form of government and we love our people, we love ourselves, we should treat each other like the way we love ourselves. Even though the civil war has brought unrest in our nation, and especially tribal unrest and hateful things among Liberians. But again, we are standing as Liberian, and that's why we would need to have reflection and debriefing on so many things, so that we can put this unrest to rest, so that we can come back, we can come together as Liberian and build Liberia and put Liberia to where we want Liberia to be. Um, Again, if anybody want to say anything concerning these topics, you can go ahead and say it, and then we'll go to our closing statement each. Um, uh,
So I'm ready to make my
Montgomery,
closing
you want to
statement.
close out? Huh?
I'm ready to make my closing statement.
Okay, Tata Wallo. Let's just do a closing statement. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, thank you, CEO, for the moderation of the show. Pastor Kroma, but Edwin, thank you guys. I think it was a good conversation. Of By every measure, our country is in a hard place. By every measure, our country is in a hard place. Let us not stop talking about the ills that we see. Let us not one day think that no one is listening. That's why when we come here, No, let us be very authentic. Let us be very truthful, and let us represent ourselves well. Because the change has to start with us. Let us not get weary because our country is in a hard place. We cannot do better if we don't know better. For those of us that know better, we have to speak what is better because our country, our people have been in a perpetual abuse that they don't even know what good leadership looks like. Even if you tell them that the life you are living, there is an alternative to that, they cannot believe an alternative life besides what they have been accustomed to. I don't blame them. That with consistency, with perseverance, with truthfulness, we will get to somebody. Somebody's mind will be changed. Somebody will get an information that will inspire them to become the better person. So I appreciate the time that we spend here, and let us not stop doing this. Let us continue to do it. In any way we can improve our platform, let us do that because God has a purpose for making us Liberians. It is our responsibility, all of us, to make Liberia a better country. So thank you guys. It was a nice conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, let me do my closing. Again, it's been a good show, very good show. Thank you, CEO, for providing a platform. Let me say thanks to my fellow panelists here and our listening audience via social media. Um, we want to say thank you. If you come across our video, please share it. This is not time wasting for me. Whenever I have the opportunity to come and speak on issues that I think can bring some sort of good result to my country, I'll do it. But again, this is the time for, like Dr. Wallo said, for our president, Joseph Boakai, to speak. If he indeed want to be a good leader, to leave a legacy, at least he should take at least this issue like his own because he himself has boys. I know he got grandkids. So not to say too much, I want to take this time to extend my condolences to the grieving and the bereaved family at this time. And we hope that, Liberia can get better because we are a messed up country. We are messed up. Thank you, CEO. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Edwin, you want to close? I will just go ahead and then you close. Is that okay?
Oh, sure.
Okay. So again, gentlemen, we want to say thank you for being here today and for your commitment to this podcast. Everything we do here, I believe that one day things will come to fruition. And again, with Liberia issue, I think Liberia, we should keep speaking like this. It bringing awareness to the nation and bringing awareness to Liberians on what need to be done in the country for the country to grow. Um, for the country to grow, I think let's look at the economy. Let's look at protecting our country, protecting our citizens, and providing security for them. Our national security should be protected. Our citizens should be protected. Healthcare should be improved upon. And again, it's not a president thing. It's not a political party thing. It's a Liberian thing. And nobody wins. If that happens, Liberians win. So, regardless of your position, we are still Liberian. Again, thank you. I just want to thank our listeners for tuning in. Thank you, and we'll see you next Sunday. Edwin.
All right, thank you guys. Always enjoy these topics. Always enjoy the conversation. Always enjoy the input. I feel like we've been working out of the coal mine for the past couple of shows because we've been attacking main issues, which I like, by the way, because these are the things that can actually move the needle in the country. Um, I'm challenging the Liberian government to comparatively challenge itself to compare themselves to Ghana, especially in the rule of law column, and see if they can green light themselves. Maybe that's would be the first challenge. Just try to rule the country accordingly and borrow from Ghana. What is Ghana's doing right? Maybe that might have an inverse turn on the country, because if they govern correctly, then we'll have peace. People will trust the government. Then maybe businesses will start coming. But if Liberia want to follow the MCC score of Ghana and they want to improve on what Ghana do, the very first thing is do is ask themselves, looking themselves in the mirror and say, how can we improve on governing our people and making our government accessible, ruling like Ghana, because Ghana been doing it consistently for a very long time. So they can challenge themselves to do that. I'm not counting on that though. But if they want to challenge themselves, they can go that route. Since, because there's no government, because they're not too much of economic people. But maybe challenge yourself on how to rule or govern your people and try to fill those columns that Ghana filled that are all green lighted and compare yourself. Maybe next year or next fiscal time you can go on economics or businesses and stuff like that. But maybe start with that challenge in 2026. We have a heavy spiritual situation in Liberia, spiritually lacking to the word of God. Thus, all these heinous crimes that are being committed. The country has spilled so many blood that we haven't, gone back to God for forgiveness. I still maintain that we don't have churches. Because churches are in service to God. All the churches over there, maybe 98% of them, they preach for you to get something from God, and which is the opposite. You're supposed to go to God with the mindset of serving people. Then maybe you can have illumination, and then maybe you can have wealth. But we have it backwards. So people who are staying in church, they're praying for a very long time. We need somebody. We're calling on this podcast. We're calling for somebody. We're calling for a leader. We need somebody to step in, because I don't foresee the forecast of having the government people changing anything. I already done. I want to challenge them. I want to be optimistic about what I've done. We need somebody to come from out of the woodwork so we can fix this country of ours, at least in our lifetime, so we can enjoy Liberia like we want. Thank you, guys.